Hey folks, it's Max with PhoneArena.com. We are at a pre-announcement gathering here for some media on the left coast of the United States as OnePlus has revealed to us its latest offering, the OnePlus X. And this device, basically everything we've seen so far in terms of the rumor mill has basically held true. You have a device that is not necessarily packing class-leading hardware, but looking at this device, you can pretty much tell that this is one handsome piece of hardware here. It's very well put together, and we'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute. But the whole idea about this device was something that allowed function to have parity with fashion, more or less. And so a lot of the events that OnePlus will be getting involved in with this device will involve a lot of fashion outlets, believe it or not. So basically what we have here is a device running Oxygen OS, which is based on Android 5.1.1. It's packing a Qualcomm Snapdragon 801 processor, which, while not class leading by many spec geeks, is more than competent. And actually, OnePlus pointed out that using this silicon instead of the Snapdragon 600 series or 400 series made more sense, because even though the 801 CPU is well over a year old, it is still able to outperform some of the more modern octa-core lower spec chips. So let's talk about the hardware of this device. The first thing that you're going to notice, as I've been kind of just showing you here on camera, is just how reflective this thing is. And the reason why is because this is the OnePlus X Ceramic. And there's another one called the OnePlus X Onyx. Onyx is basically a glass and glass backing, and the difference is that the edges are a little more rounded. But this one here, as you can tell, these are more angled edges. It provides a more distinct look. Kind of makes it look like there's water in here, but this reflectivity is absolutely stunning to behold in person, and you can tell just by looking in the camera, and you can see the camera, and you can even see me right there. This is a material that has to be polished with diamond-based materials. It is cooked twice at nearly 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It takes days to complete, and it only has a yield rate of about 20%. So that means 8 out of 10 of these that get finished will not make it into mass production, and those materials will get recycled and recooked again. So that's a pretty impressive piece of hardware here. I mean, holding it in the hand, there's nothing about this device that says cheap. So don't let the specs fool you either, because this is a nice phone. The main display is a 1080p 5-inch display, something that we've seen before across many devices. You have the power lock button square in the center along the right side of the metal chassis. You have the volume rocker. I'll get to the SIM card tray in just a minute. You also have the notification toggle that OnePlus brought to market with its OnePlus 2, and so it controls the same notifications between priority, no notifications, or all notifications if you want. You have a bottom speaker microphone and a regular micro USB plug. And on the back we've got a 13 megapixel camera, same sensor and assembly that's in the previous OnePlus devices. And then on top here we have a noise canceling microphone, 3.5mm headset jack, and there we go. So like its bigger brother, the OnePlus 2, the OnePlus X is also a dual SIM device. It has 16 gigabytes of storage and 3 gigabytes of RAM, and this one will also support expandable storage. So if you look on the tray here, they've done a nifty little thing with the tray. So you can see it will support either one nano SIM and a micro SD card for expandable storage, or you can place 2 nano SIM cards in here, and that way if you're traveling and want to use local network, you can do that. So that's a pretty neat piece, and that's something that OnePlus responded to from a lot of people giving feedback about the OnePlus 2. How does this measure up against something like the OnePlus 2? Well, it's not really meant to be the same device. This is not being marketed as a flagship killer per se, but you're running Oxygen OS, so it's the same user experience that you would find on something like the OnePlus 2. So you can see them here side by side. You can see it's a shorter, narrower, and about the same weight too because of the materials used. It weighs, about 5.5 ounces, and so it kind of gives you an idea about the care that went into making something that has a build quality as a primary consideration, and while maintaining a compact form factor. And it looks like they pretty much hit a pretty solid home run in that regard. So I think anybody that picks that device up is not going to mistake it for something cheap. If you happen to be sporting a older OnePlus One, you can kind of see how it stands up similarly to that as well. Shorter, narrower, and there you go. So if you were thinking about another OnePlus device and you still had a OnePlus One, you have an idea what the OnePlus X has in store for us. As for what the availability of the OnePlus X will be, the OnePlus X Onyx, which is the glass one, will be available in the United States beginning November 19th. And there will be an invite system that lasts for 1 month, and then after that they will have weekly open sales. The starting price in the United States will be $249. In Europe, it will be 269 euros. It'll be available in Europe beginning November 5th, as well as India, November 5th. And then the OnePlus X Ceramic. Okay, so this is kind of the sad story, at least for now. The OnePlus X Ceramic, the fancy one, the one that has this beautiful backplate on it, will only be available in the European Union and India beginning November 24th. Its price will start at 369 euros. So no word yet on the availability here in the United States, but I have a feeling that if they market this just right or work with just the right people and the fashion people in and around, this device could catch some eyes because it's pretty nice to look at. In the box, you do get a case, because when you have something that's made of glass, it's nice to protect it. So you do get this little gel case that's included as part of it. You also get, the well-known red OnePlus micro USB cable, AC power, and other kits. You'll also be able to provide other custom backplates for the OnePlus X. So you got wood. You can also get the popular sandstone that kind of gave OnePlus its name with the original OnePlus One. And there's also graphite and other patterns available as well. So all of those will be available when you choose to order this, either through the invite system or later on down the road when open sales are provided. So that is the OnePlus X from OnePlus. It's going to be available early next month, starting in Europe and India with the OnePlus X Onyx, and then November 19th in the United States. And then the rather pretty OnePlus X Ceramic will be available in Europe and India beginning November 24th. So keep checking back for more about this rather pretty smartphone from OnePlus, the OnePlus X at PhoneArena.com.